Hi, I'm Kristal Hart, and welcome to the Kristal Hart Show. We are at the VA hospital on 23rd and 1st Avenue in New York City, and they are at it again, folks. They have proposed to close the Veterans Hospital here on 23rd and 1st, as well as a Veterans Hospital in Brooklyn. We have State Senator Chuck Schumer here today, and he has a plan to help combat the action against closing these hospitals.
Why do you have so many of our great veterans here today and so many of our elected officials? Because they have the Veterans Administration has come up with an outrageous plan to close this beautiful facility, the facility in Brooklyn, the facility in Northport. Closing the facilities, the Brooklyn, when I hear that the Veterans Administration wants to close the Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Long Island facilities, you know what I say? WTF. You know what that means?
Yeah. He told me that.
I'm from Brooklyn. I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to say that. We are going to fight this proposal tooth and nail. We are going to put a dagger through its heart. It is not going to see the light of day. And we're here doing it now because we're going to nip this in the bud. Plain and simple. Now, first, I want to thank all our veterans who are here.
Thank you.
These are the people who risked their lives for us, and the only thing we said in return is you'll get good health care. These facilities could give good health care. We're not going to take them away. We're not going to let them take them away. And let me just, there are a lot of people here. I'm going to leave out a lot of people, and I apologize because we had so many who come. But we have my friend for decades, John Rowan, the head of Vietnam Veterans of America. He has helped do so much for our Vietnam veterans. Now we're working on the burn pits, which also dealt with our Afghan and Iranian, but it also deals with Agent Orange, which affected so many of our Vietnam vets. We have Danny Friedman, president of the Brooklyn Veterans. We have Carol St. Pierre, president of the New York City chapter of the National Association of Black Military Women. We have Joe Bello, the Metropolitan New York City Veterans Community Engagement Board. Joe. Thank you, Joe. We have James Hendon, the commissioner of our Department of Veterans Affairs here in NYC. Where are you? There you are. Thank you. We have Victor Bohm, Iraq and Afghan Veterans of America. Victor. Where are you? There you are. Thank you. I saw you. We have McQuaid Ryan, Kathy Dean, Tom Smoot from the Wounded Warriors. Raise your hands. Thank you. And many other people. Wait, we got a big... Oh, yes. Okay. We also have some of our great elected officials. Our Congress member from this district, Carolyn Maloney. Our assembly member from this district, Harvey Epstein.
Thank you.
Our, is this your district?
It is.
Our senator from this district, Brad Hoylman.
All right.
Anyone else from, and our senator from the neighboring district who has a lot of vets living in his district, Brian Kavanaugh. Anyone else of the electeds I'm leaving out?
Just Bob and
And of course, from Queens,
yes.
Bob Holden from the City Council, who's done a great job for our veterans as well. Okay, all right. So, what we're doing here today, well, let me just say a couple of things here. First, let me get here. Can I give you these things, Angelo? It's a little easier for me. Thank you. Okay, so we're here today because we've heard the news. Some people in the basement of the VA want to close this beautiful facility. They wrote a report. It says, this VA right here in Midtown, close it. That's what it says. It says to the Brooklyn VA hospital, close it. It says to the Long Island VA hospital, close it. It says to the Dutchess County facility, close it. We have 10, 20, 15 million people in this area, many of whom are vets. New Yorkers volunteer, New Yorkers serve. Who is going to take care of them? We are not going to turn our back on these veterans, plain and simple.
That's right.
So, we are not letting them do this. It's a dastardly thing. These folks risk their lives for us. Some people are not here because they risked their lives for us, including people I knew in Vietnam, who went to Vietnam, my age group. And we have said to any veteran who serves us that you are going to get good health care. And that's why we set up this VA system. This VA system is a lot better than a lot of private hospitals where you have to pay so much co-payments, this, that, and the other thing, where they make you wait, where they treat you shabbily, etc. And if you close these hospitals, it's going to hurt every hospital, because who's going to take care of these folks? They'll go to the local hospitals, which are already overburdened. They don't want to go to the local hospitals. My dad just passed away. He's a World War II vet. He got great service out in the Northport VA hospital. He didn't want to go to another place. And it's the same as so many others, so many others, so many others. So what we are doing today is we are announcing our advocacy plan. First, what? Our battle plan. Don't close our VA hospitals. And we are going to start a massive petition drive that will be signed by veterans, their families, and just good American citizens and people who care about keeping these hospitals open. And we're going to start the petition battle plan. We're going to start the battle plan with the petition drive right here. As we close, we're all going to sign these petitions, and we're starting it off, and our veterans and everyone else is going to take it around. So first, here's the four-point battle plan. One, we're announcing a formal petition drive which will lead across the city and the state. Second, I'm demanding that the D.C. folks who asked for closures in New York come up here and talk to our veterans.
That's right.
Before they even lift another pen. Let them talk to the people who need the help. Let them hear how good the service is here. Third, we're going to ask our local hospitals to weigh in, because they've already said they have issues with capacity, and the VA medical centers are more ideal for the treatment of many conditions. PTSD. There were many service-related cancers that you just had if you went over to Vietnam, to Iraq, to Afghanistan. And finally, our advocacy plan is going to lead straight to the White House, because I am going to bring this up personally to President Biden and ask him to kibosh it, get rid of it, put a knife through its heart, kill it, and don't let it rise from the dead once it's dead.
That's right.
Okay? So that's what we're doing here today. That's what we're doing here today. The bottom line is our vets sacrifice so much. Every one of us is either a veteran here or knows veterans and knows the sacrifice and knows what they've done and knows their selflessness. They don't complain. They did their job. And then they went and did their lives. But God forbid, they need health care. We need our facilities, our best medical centers to do it, and we're going to do it. Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you, Angelo. My father, well, I'll give you an example. My father lost his hearing. He was in the Army Air Force. He flew C-47s. That may have been the reason he lost his hearing. And he would go to the VA hospital and get a great hearing aid for $8. And then, when it broke, they would fix it. My mom, because his disability could not be proved as service-connected, so when she lost her hearing, she would go to a department store, pay $3,500, and when they would break, they never wanted a phone number again. It's the same thing with prescriptions. Our veterans get reasonably priced prescription drugs sent through the mail right to them.
Zero.
Close these hospitals? That's not going to happen. We are not letting any of that happen, plain and simple. Okay? All right. So, with that, we're going to hear from first a few of our vets and then a few of our local officials. You want to say something, John?
Sure.
The great John Rowan, the head of Vietnam Veterans of America, not just for New York, but for the whole country.
Okay. Thank you, Senator. Yeah, there seems to be some confusion in the minds of the folks who are researching this hospital. First of all, some of it was built in the 1950s, because I visited my father here. But most of it's been built a lot more recently, and for those of you who remember the big flood we had a few years ago, forced the VA to spend millions retrograding this facility and lifting all the power plants up above to the second floor. This is like a brand new building inside. Many of us, and myself included, utilize the clinics as well as this hospital. I had open heart surgery here 5 years ago. They did a great job. By the way, it was all done by the folks up the road from NYU. The NYU thoracic team came down here, did my surgery, and I had my recovery here in the VA. And almost everybody that was working on me after my surgery here in the VA were veterans.
Of course.
That's one of the keys. They know what we are. They know what our health care is all about. They know what our needs are all about. They know what our complications are, having been in the toxic exposures that we had either in Vietnam or in the burn pits. Yes, the Vietnam veterans are getting old and we're dying off. Unfortunately, we're dying off faster than we should have because of Agent Orange.
Right.
Unfortunately, the military never learns, and so in Afghanistan and Iraq for the last 20 years, veterans there have been exposed to the burn pits.
Right.
There's a great piece of legislation wending its way through Congress called the PACT Act that got passed in the House.
We're having a hearing on it on Tuesday.
The Senate side's
This
got the
Tuesday.
same bill,
We're
and
gonna
we
get it
need to
done.
get that thing done.
We are.
Because it's going to do for the veterans of post 9/11 what they didn't do for the
Agent
Vietnam
Orange.
vets.
Right.
They're going to get you into the hospital system sooner so they can keep an eye on you. They're going to study you quicker so when something goes wrong, they're going to get to it earlier. Because I hate to tell you, but all the toxic exposure stuff is going to cause cancers and all kinds of other ramifications. And they already agreed, and I give the secretary, the new secretary, lots of credit for adding presumptive diseases now.
Right.
Now, this is a long, complicated thing, but the bottom line is this. If you stepped foot in Iraq or Afghanistan during these recent wars, you were exposed to all kinds of horrible stuff. You breathed it in, you got it in your system, and unfortunately, I hate to tell you, it's going to kill some of you sooner than you want to know, and it's going to make you sicker than you ever want to know.
And just to explain the presumption,
yes.
if you were exposed to this, unless you have the presumption, they make you go prove that it was a
Right.
direct cause of the exposure.
Correct.
You're never going to do that, and by the time you do that, you might be dead.
Yes.
So this presumption says
Yes.
you were exposed to Agent Orange and you get these diseases, it's presumed it was service-related.
And that's what
You
happened
by a
to us
burn
in
pit?
Vietnam.
Yeah, right.
That's what
You'll-
happened to us in Vietnam. But I didn't get my heart condition done until I was 70. It should have been approved when I was 40, not when I was 70. So that's what we need to do. So there's, yes, the number of Vietnam veterans are going to die off in the next 10, 15 years. But the truth of the matter is the large number of veterans who served for the last 20 years are going to be around for quite a while. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but they're going to need a lot of health care. That's why we need these facilities in Brooklyn. We need the one here, and we need Northport redone.
You bet. Thank you,
Thank
John
you, Mr.
Rowan.
Chairman.
I
Thank
need
you,
my
Senator.
list. That's what I gave you. Okay, next we're going to have Wendy McClinton, President
Yes.
and CEO of Black Veterans for Social Justice.
And Chair of the City Veterans Advisory Board.
Right, Chair of our Veterans Advisory Board.
on, Wendy.
Wendy.
Come on up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being
Thank you so much to everyone in your
Angelo, give me the
respective places. I just want to remind you of the incidents that took place maybe 2 years ago. And that was when we were in COVID. And the many veterans that we lost during COVID. Closing this VA facility and others, we will experience that same loss again. And we have to be mindful of that. When you close these facilities, you're saying that you thank you for your service. Well, you have to thank us for our service and let the services that you provide to us equate to the services that we
Well
gave.
said.
And
That's
if
how
you
you
close
thank you.
these, if we
Right.
close these facilities, you're not really thanking us for your service. You're really hindering the services that we gave.
doing something
So
else for
please, 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 right? Get into this petition, make the telephone calls, stand strong, be on our public sessions when we talk about that and we talk about the closing of these VA facilities.
Right.
Your voice needs to be heard because again, if we're not at the table, they will continue to keep us on the menu. Take care.
Thank you. Well said, Wendy. Next we have Eric Smith. He's a psychiatric nurse at this facility. Where's Eric?
Eric, come
Come on up, Eric.
Hi.
Okay.
Hello, my name's Eric Smith. I'm one of the nurses here at the VA. I've been employed here for about 3 years. I'm also a disabled veteran. So I just want to say that I have used this facility myself. This facility has helped me immensely, okay? When I first got out of the Navy, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have health insurance, but thank God I was able to come to the VA. They were able to help me with my PTSD. They were able to help me with my respiratory conditions, and I was able to get care. And because of that, I was able to go to school and become a registered nurse, and in full cycle, now I'm employed here at the VA. We need this facility. Thousands, millions of veterans out there need this coverage. This is what we need. Don't let these politicians close this place down. We need good politicians that are around for us, that care about veterans, okay? So please, whatever you have to do, sign these petitions, write letters, talk to your congresspeople, and let's keep our VA facilities open. Thank you.
Okay, now we have Danny Friedman from Brooklyn, because they want to close the Brooklyn facility as well.
You guys should hold the Brooklyn sign together. Where's the Brooklyn sign?
First senator from Brooklyn.
I like to
Come over here, Danny. Get it away from here. We go.
I'd like to thank the senator for being here with us today, for making this issue in the forefront of veterans' issues. The late Bob Green, a great friend of mine, said that we walk point, the Vietnam veterans walk point for the next generation of veterans.
Yep.
And that's the fact. When we first came home from Vietnam, the VA facilities were not equipped to deal with us or our issues. They never heard of PTSD. We changed that. We got PTSD put into DSM-3, and now we have an obligation, a sacred obligation, to hold our place here, to hold the place here for the next generation of veterans.
You got it.
This commission, this air commission is saying, well, the facilities is underused. Yeah, well, unfortunately, my guys are dying off. But yeah, in 10, 15, 20 years from now, there's got to be services here for the next generation of veterans. Because unfortunately, there will always be a next generation of veterans, and this country has an obligation to be there for them. Thank you.
Thank you. And this fight will be in both houses of government, the Senate and the Congress. And we have our great Congresswoman who's always defended vets here, Carolyn Maloney.
Thank you, Chuck. And remember, we were here not so long ago,
Right.
saving this hospital, and we're going to do it again. And I want to join my outstanding colleagues in government, our outstanding assemblyman, Harvey Epstein, our two great senators, Brad Hoylman and Brian Kavanaugh, and our outstanding senator, and I'm here to say, I want to join the battle. Sign me up for the 4-point plan. I'm going into combat. And incidentally, this place is named after the first woman veteran, Margaret Cochran Corbin. Women veterans, we heard from them today, were there fighting with men from the Revolutionary War. And we've just got to stop this. This is absolutely outrageous. This is rated one of the best hospitals, if not the best, in the entire country. So why close it? Makes no sense whatsoever. It serves not only Manhattan, and it is the only veterans hospital serving Manhattan. I'm talking about the district that I represent. My residents will have no place to go until they go far away, many of whom are in wheelchairs. It's hard to get on public transportation to get to another site. It is absolutely crazy. It also serves many veterans from Connecticut and New Jersey, the surrounding area.
Because it's so good, they come to
They
you.
come here. It is a center of excellence in 7 different categories with a New York hospital. And it does phenomenal research that is not done any other place because they have a captive audience that they can treat and work with. And it is going on now. We have the burn pits now affecting people. But I want to talk to John Rowan and the veterans from Vietnam, because Tuesday is the 50th anniversary of the so-called forgotten war, the Vietnam Veterans Day. And it is a day that when the last American troops left Vietnam. And my late brother was a veteran from Vietnam. He was part of the legendary 82nd Airborne, and he parachuted behind enemy lines. and he had post-traumatic syndrome.
PTSD.
He suffered his whole life from it, and it scarred him. The war scarred him, and it would haunt him for the rest of his life. He left Vietnam, but Vietnam never left him. And I think every veteran feels that way. When you are in combat, when you are part of it, it never, ever leaves you. My father would never talk about World War II, and we still have veterans here from World War II. But this facility, those of us remember during 9/11, this was a staging facility. We're running out of public places. We need it for staging facilities, for the service to our veterans. This has got to stop, and we poured hundreds of millions of dollars with the senator's help after Sandy to renovate it and modernize it, and it is a wonderful facility. Our veterans have been there for us. We need to be there for them.
And we'll be there.
And we will be there. I've already written letters. I'm going to write more of them. We are going to stop this. This is going to serve our veterans, which it was designed to do, and we will not stop until it is doing just that.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have our state senator, the great Brad Hoylman.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator. Or as my daughter likes to say, you're a real senator. My 11-year-old. I'm State Senator Brad Hoylman, proud to represent this neighborhood and this hospital. Let me just say, Senator, there is such history across the street in Peter Cooper Village, Stuyvesant Town.
Right.
25,000 residents, a history of service by so many residents who are veterans. So I want to shout them out. Many of them use this hospital. And when I heard, Senator, that the administration was planning on closing this and other veterans' hospital, I thought we were being punked. It just did not make sense.
Made no sense, right?
It made no sense. I mean, forget about the fact that there are midterm elections, but what about the service that so many of the men and women standing behind us have contributed? And let me add something else. 5 blocks from here is a hospital, a private hospital, Mount Sinai Beth Israel.
Right.
They were considering closing, but because of the pandemic, they have changed their plans and will remain open. It also makes no sense to close a hospital in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. So, Senator, thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, Brad.
Congresswoman, we look forward to joining you in Albany to make sure this facility stays open for all these amazing veterans. Thank you for your service. Those are not empty words. We need to fight to keep this hospital open.
Right. The assemblyman from this district, Harvey Epstein.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you all for being here. My name is Harvey Epstein. I do represent this district in the State Assembly. We talked about family. Both my uncles served in Vietnam. They used this facility. They both died way too young after the war. And, you know, health conditions, we all know what that is. But what are we going to do if we close the facility? We've talked about overcrowding in our other hospitals, but what's more importantly is what we heard earlier. You know, NYU doctor comes here to help with the veterans. We have a Bellevue doctor or a Beth Israel doctor. This is a place where we have hospitals, we have expertise that the veterans need. This is an ideal location for this hospital. That's why it was placed here. And for the over 40,000 New Yorkers who are using this every single year, if you talk about underutilization, I have no idea what you're talking about. Where are those families and individuals going? Where are those 40,000 families going to get the services they need? This is the location. We're going to fight on the state level to work with our congressional leaders to ensure that it stays open. Thank you.
Okay. And from the senator from the neighboring district, Brad Kavanaugh.
Hey, I'll be very brief. I can confirm that Brad Hoylman is a real senator. Where's your daughter? Okay. No, I'll be very brief. I represent the district south of here. I did previously represent this neighborhood in the state assembly. Unfortunately, been succeeded by the great Harvey Epstein. But I was here for the fights in the past to keep this open, and I just wanted to join you all to add my voice to what's been already said so eloquently today. You know, my own father was a veteran. He actually joined the U.S. Army before he got U.S. citizenship. We know that so many veterans have served us so well for so long, and we are fully committed to making sure that the commitment of many generations continues in ensuring that proper health care is available in facilities like this that know how to do it right, that serve veterans uniquely and well. And again, I just wanted to join you all and add my voice to this fight and
Thanks,
thank
Brian.
our senior senator from
Thank you.
the U.S. to.
And finally, we have the chairman of the City Council's Committee on Veterans from Queens, Bob Holden.
Thank you, Senator. And this is very personal to me. My mom just passed last month, and she used to come here and read to the veterans. She volunteered for into her 80s, came here every week and read to the veterans. This is a very, very important hospital. My dad was here, suffered in the 60s, suffered post-traumatic stress, but they didn't know what he had.
Right.
They didn't understand why he couldn't hold a job, why he became an alcoholic, and obviously they didn't give him any benefits. Only 2 years before he died did they recognize something to the effect, and my mom got some benefits, but that was too little too late. And again, what was mentioned before, how do you close a hospital during COVID? How, like John McEnroe, you can't be serious. I mean,
WTF.
That's a good one. But it's going to be really, as chair of the veterans, it's going to be over my dead body if they're going to close this place. And your dead body too.
You too.
But thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, our last speaker, I think, will be Victor Bohm of the Iraq and Afghan veterans. Victor, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Good. Thank you, Victor.
Hi everyone, my name is Victor Bohm. I am an Air Force veteran and I work for Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America as the Senior Director of Digital Engagement. I am here today not only representing IAVA, but all veterans of this great state and this great city. I have personally used the amazing services here at the Manhattan VA for the past 10 years and have been extremely satisfied with the support and services I have received. We at IAVA want to ensure that all New York veterans are properly cared for and have access to all of the health care services they need and deserve. Veterans rely on the VA and its many benefits to receive the best quality health care and assistance possible. Many veterans here, including IAVA members, the ones who have shouldered the burden of deployments over the last 2 decades, depend on the VA for their care, and that care must continue. A full 84% of our members are enrolled in the VA healthcare system, and 80% of our members have a VA disability rating for their service-connected injuries. It's clear that they rely on the VA a great deal. We understand that the VA is going through a process to determine the best way to serve veterans in the decades to come. In doing so, veterans must continue to receive high quality and timely care that they have been receiving from their VA. IAVA absolutely opposes any reduction in the VA healthcare services for New York veterans and any unnecessary outsourcing of their care to the private sector. We call on the Air Commission to develop strong alternatives to their current VA proposals to protect and improve care and access to those who have served our great nation. We appreciate Senator Schumer, Representative Maloney, and other elected officials for having our backs on this and many other matters of critical importance to the veteran community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And actually, our last speaker is our New York City Commissioner of Veteran Services, James Hendon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just want to say we stand side by side with all who are here today, and we appreciate all of our leaders in government, including the majority leader who's been in this fight since 1975, since he was an assemblyman, he was a congressman, as a senator, now majority leader on these things about veterans. First and foremost, we are with you on this 4-point plan between the petition drive, between making sure DC folks are talking to the veterans, between having the local hospitals weigh in, and the advocacy to the White House. Anything that you need by way of support, let us know we got you. Just want to say that.
Thank you, James.
Yep. The other piece of this is the full scope of this, to make sure we're listening to plans to potentially close this VA, to close the Brooklyn VA, and to have our brothers and sisters in Staten Island go to New Jersey, as opposed to using the transportation arteries here, to use their health services here. These are all things that we, not just me, but also the Department of Veteran Services, also the City of New York, are very much against, and we support all that can be done to stop this from happening. Last thing, anything that we can do to help our veterans in real time, reach out. If you know anyone or if you yourself need anything, the Department of Veteran Services, you can email us, you can call us, you can find us on social media, online, nyc.gov/vets to learn more, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Great. All right. Now, make believe this is the plan, right? This is the plan they put together. Here's what we're going to do to it. It's over. All right. Now we're going to sign the petition. Where's the petition, Angelo? Okay. All right, I'll be the first one to sign.
Take care of their veterans is not a country. This is shameful. I represent the
Angelo.
veterans of Staten Island.
Thank you.
Community activism.
Tell him your name, sir.
We are so divided at this point, but me and Chuck have different political opinions. And if it's one point in this country where we come together for one thing, it's for our veterans.
Yes.
That's the position.
Thank you. Well done from Staten Island. Thank you. All right, here's the petition.
We can sign those, but we can also just sign on.
Yeah, we're going to sign here too. Great. All right, that's good. You guys line up. John, you come sign after me.
And I'm Kristal Hart reporting from the VA hospital here on 23rd and 1st Avenue. Once again, they have proposed to close this hospital along with a VA hospital in Brooklyn. Please support us. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the show. And once again, please support the veterans.